continue to support this family by offering whatever assistance they can to achieve this goal, which is justice. And I believe with all my heart that someday, soon, justice will be served. We must vow to continue to keep Deanna's memory alive, and together we will put Deanna's killer behind bars once and for all.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to take a moment to acknowledge some of these elected officials that are here today. Of course, our Mayor, Mayor Joseph Curtatone, Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan, as well as from the DA's office, Adriana Lynch and Susie Marshall. From the Board of Aldermen, we have Ward 5 Alderman Mark Niedergang, Ward 7 Alderman Katarina Ballantyne, and Ward 1 Alderman Matt McLaughlin. And I do believe I saw Representative Denise Provost here. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Acting Chief Charlie Femino and Deputy Chief Cabral. But I need to acknowledge everybody else that is standing here today, because each and every one of you are part of that community I just spoke of. And that community is what I call the Friends of Deanna Cremin. And now I would like to speak of this ceremony. This ceremony is one that takes place every year. Deanna's father, Bert, makes sure that happens. 18 wreaths have hung on this post. 18, and today we make it 19. And this will continue for generations to come. These wreaths hang in this square are a symbol of love, of loyalty, and of remembrance. Remembrance of a beautiful soul that was taken far too soon. That soul was our precious Deanna. And Deanna, you will never be forgotten. At this time, I would like to read a statement prepared by the Cremins family, the Rogers family, and the Friends of Deanna Cremins. We would like to start off by saying thank you to Mayor Joseph Curtatone for all of his support for the past 10 years, but especially for the last 12 months. Your unwavering support has been nothing short of amazing. From the beautiful piece you wrote this past fall to your participation in the Garden of Peace ceremony and so much more. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Somerville is lucky to have you, and Deanna is really lucky to have you in her corner. We would also like to thank the members of the Board of Aldermen for their commitment to Deanna and the Cremins and Roger families. Your support gives us the strength to continue our pursuit of justice and fills us with hope, knowing that we are not alone in this fight. We'd like to acknowledge the newest and a very valuable member to our team, former police detective John DeCease. John has been working this case pro bono, and in just a few months, he has brought his experience, his skills, and his expertise, and has been of tremendous help already. Thank you, John. We would also like to thank Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan for coming here today. We hope to work closer with you in the future Together, we will fight for justice. Thank you, DA Ryan. Your presence here today means more than you will ever know. Thank you. Lastly, I would like to thank all of you who continue to come out to remember Deanna and continue to assist us in the pursuit of justice. Without you, we would be nothing. It is the support of the people that will make the difference in this case. We feel confident that with your help, the help of everybody here, that Deanna's killer will be brought to justice. And for that, we thank you.
Yeah.
There are several people that are going to say some words today, though we're going to keep the program short. And the first speaker, not only am I lucky to have him as my mayor, I'm lucky that he is my friend, Mayor Joseph Curtatone.
Thank you, Maureen. I want to thank you all for coming out today. And I continue to be amazed at my individual participation at this vigil over the last 18 years. The continued support for Deanna's family, her friends, and to cherish her memory. I've often asked myself, have I really done enough? And as a citizen of this community, as an alderman, when I was an alderman, as a mayor, and I've left that answer hollow. And every night I drive by here, this intersection, several times a day actually, to go to and from my house in Ten Hills, I pause or reflect at this corner. I think about the meetings I had with Deanna's mom and dad and her family and friends, and how inspired I've been, I know, like many of you, with their commitment, tenacity, and persistence to bring Deanna's killer to justice so that she may finally rest in peace, and that her memory, and the memory of Deanna and what she meant to all of you, our friends and family, this community, is never forgotten. Well, I've often asked myself, have we done enough? I don't know what that answer is. I know I want to continue to be side by side with the Cremin's family and with their friends. I know I want to pray with all of you, to pause with all of you. With the city police department, we're going to do more. We'll be offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and prosecution of any person or persons involved in this crime. I'm inspired by all your commitment and persistence and tenacity. We will be side by side with you until justice is made. Justice is brought forth, and Deanna may finally rest in peace. I thank you all for what you do for her memory and for her family. God bless.
I vowed that I was not going to get emotional today, but when the mayor just said that, oof. Our next speaker is the very beautiful sister of Deanna, Christine.
Hello. Thank you everyone for being here for another anniversary. The morning I found out my sister was murdered was the beginning of a lifetime of devastating moments in my life. The first day and weeks and even years Deanna died was not real to me. I blocked it out so I wouldn't have to accept it. It wasn't that easy though. I would walk down the street thinking I saw Deanna. I would see men I didn't know and wonder if they were her killer. I would get jealous of my friends that still had their sisters that were alive. Friends and people who knew Deanna would approach me with their condolences, and I would immediately shut down the conversation. I avoided Deanna's masses the first few years of her death. I would purposely book trips with my cousins on Deanna's anniversary so I wouldn't have to be here. I dreaded the unwanted attention I knew was coming. My sister was murdered, and nobody was held accountable. Things like this don't happen. People don't get away with murder. Now that I'm almost 20 years older than I was when my little sister was murdered, I realize I will never be able to block this out. It is a grief that is now a part of me. I am the sister of an unsolved murder victim. Every happy moment in my family life, my family life is bittersweet and will be for the rest of our lives. How can we ever be 100% happy celebrating something when someone so special and important to us isn't here? Deanna would have been an amazing aunt, sister, daughter, niece, cousin, friend, and I know she would have been a wonderful mom. All we can do is remember her sweet smile, her beautiful personality, and be grateful for the 17 years we did have her in our lives. This does not mean in any way I or anyone else here is okay with the status of her investigation. I'm not going to sit here and say what has been said every year since her death for someone to please come forward. That obviously isn't working. Someone evil is living with this secret, and it is okay watching all who loved her suffer, not knowing the events or reason of her death. I am not a detective and I'm not a murder investigator. What I do know is Deanna didn't die without a fight. She fought till her very last breath. Deanna's body had to have had her killer's DNA all over it. What I hope is that her murder can be reinvestigated. Look over the evidence that is left with a fine-tooth comb. The DNA and technology that is available today leaves no excuse for her murder not being solved. Her investigation should be funded by the local, state, or even federal level. The money will be well spent. The time, money, and resources will be well spent. Our family deserves it. Her friends deserve it. The city of Somerville deserves it. And most of all, Deanna deserves it. She touched so many lives, and I can only imagine what kind of person she would have been if she were here today. I hope Deanna's murder will be given the highest level of investigation available. I imagine how nice it would be to never have to do a memorial or a news conference pleading for help to solve the murder of my sister again. It's time to close the door on this investigation and put her killer behind bars. I know it can happen. Thank you to everyone who has spent so much time and effort on Deanna's case. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you to Mayor Joe Curtatone, especially for sticking by this case. We love you, Deanna. We will never stop fighting for your justice, even though we know it will still be bittersweet. Thank you.
Our next speaker has graciously. Our next speaker has been waiting graciously to speak, and I'm very grateful she's with us here today. Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan.
Good afternoon. It's my privilege to be here with you today, because today is really about several things. It is, first of all, a tribute to all of you who come here every year, who put those wreaths on the pole, and who have never, ever let the evil that came among us be forgotten. But more importantly, it's about love, and it's about faith. It's about the love that her family and all of you have for Deanna, a love that has spanned such a very long time. We were talking earlier about the amount of time, and it's easy in some ways to say it's been 19 years, but that translates into almost over 6,900 days. 6,900 days of not knowing what happened. And through that all, those of you here have loved her family, have remembered how special she is, and have kept her alive for everyone in this city and beyond. Today is also about faith. The faith that there will be justice, the faith that keeps all of us hugging our own children, keeps us knowing that Deanna is with us in spirit, that her love and her joy for all of you continues. And it's certainly the pledge of the District Attorney's Office, the State Police, and the Somerville Police Department that faith will be rewarded. Because what I know is that love and faith are always stronger than evil. and that we will bring this case to a just resolution and a successful conclusion. And that is our promise to all of you today. So thank you for allowing me to be with you.
Thank you, Madam District Attorney. At this moment, Deanna's mother would like to speak. Kathy?
Thank you, everyone. Oh my God, really thank you so much. When I stand there and I look, this is all for Deanna. So close recently, I've been looking at photos of Deanna because her birthday was Wednesday. She would have been 36. This week is a tough week. And I really try not to let the grief overcome me and take over. But it will. And it gets stronger in this time of year. Today is the last day I saw my daughter alive 19 years ago. The last thing she said was, "I love you too, Mom." Okay. Now, above and beyond that, in the 19 years, I've also learned a lot about investigating. And I found out some things that I can actually do and have been. And I do believe I've gotten valuable information to at least have contact with someone I believe may be responsible for her murder. I am. The last day Deanna was seen alive, she was with Thomas Blank. And I haven't heard from him in 18 years. I wonder if he's a dad. I wonder what's going on with him. And like, for 18 years I haven't heard from him, and I feel such a need to hear something from him. And, I'm hoping that will happen. And I've also been very involved with the district attorney's office and the Somerville local police. And I've gotten different versions, I've gotten different answers about what I can expect to be the outcome of this investigation. I have never been falsely reassured that this would be solved. I've been given information about technology, about DNA testing that has been done. I've been told different words about different answers to these tests, what the final analysis was. I'm not sure if 19 years, why isn't a simple murder like this? I see how I say simple. One person killed my daughter, and we didn't find out who did it. And like, she didn't do nothing wrong. I just walked down that street where she was last seen. There's nothing to do wrong there. Something happened to my daughter because it was someone that knew her, and I have a great idea of a timeline of events which I've yet to discuss with the police, the authorities, and the private investigator, John Cease. I had to put that out there because I just want everybody to know Deanna is that important that I am going to find out things, and I'm going to help other people find out things about their own self-murder, because this is totally unjust and is crazy. And I don't know how I have not yet let it destroy me in the 19 years. Thank you to every single one of you for being here today. And you have no idea the gratitude I have. Thank you.
What a strong woman. She may look to be crying, but she's a strong woman. And now I'm going to bring up a strong man. And after he speaks, he will unveil the wreath, and we will have closing remarks. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Deanna's father, Bert.
Hi. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. And I feel that we have a great team fighting for us now. I feel I have hope, and I honestly believe that justice is going to be served. Tomorrow will be 19 years that Deanna's been murdered, and it's hard. The whole month is hard, but somehow we get through it. And thank you, everybody, for the support. And her memories can always be alive and be in my heart. Thank you very much.
Before we say goodbye today, we just want to stress one thing. Well, we want to stress several things. We hate that we have to gather here in Deanna's name to reflect on this amazing person while we are simultaneously pleading for justice. We long for the day that we can come together and just celebrate how special she was. We hate to keep calling upon our mayor for assistance or having to hire a private investigator or have a plea with someone to donate their time. We need you, Mayor Curtatone. We need you, Charlie Femino. We need you, John Lassise. We need you, Marion Ryan. Deanna needs each and every one of you to fight for her. So please, when you leave here today, don't forget about Deanna. Don't forget about fighting for a beautiful young girl whose life was taken away. Justice must be served. At this time, I would also like to recognize that Representative Tim Toomey is here. We're going to close this out with a balloon release. And I would like to read a poem, and after the poem, we'll send those balloons to the heavens for Deanna. And I hope that Kathy is listening to this poem because this is for her. And there are 19 balloons for each year she wants. They say this too shall pass. They say grief eventually fades. But those things are of little comfort when you're living through such sad days. They say this time heals all, and this much I know is true. So hang in there, everybody, and together we'll see it through. Thank you, everybody. We love you, Deanna.
Oh, you'll get fun. Like the surf birthday.
It's gonna be
In April?
we're gonna stop by your house to take a party book.
You gotta go see mommy.
And then we're gonna go back.
I know. You get in trouble there.
Also, everybody, the Clemens and the Rocket family would like to extend an invitation to a memorial mass in honor of Deanna at St. Anne's this afternoon. Everybody is welcome to attend.
Oh my God, thank you. You did all this, Chris?